Hello, Javad. Thank you for joining me today. Can you introduce yourself for the Informs members?
Thank you for having me. Sure. My name is Javad Mohammadi. I'm an assistant professor with the University of Texas at Austin.
Okay. And how long have you been an Informs member?
I think for a couple of years, but I've been attending Informs meetings for long before.
Okay, great. So what made you decide to become a member, even though you had been to some events before?
I think the access to a lot of a vast amount of information, and also like networking with peers and coming to these conferences and having access to all the materials and journals and everything.
Good.
It has been really helpful.
Great. We're happy to have you. So talk about how you got into this field. Why did you enter the OR field?
I was fascinated by the power system and how we built this biggest man-made machine. And I was really interested in solving the problems that are related to delivering energy to people, how we can make the system better. But at first I was really fascinated by how the system is connected, interconnected, and how it goes between cities and the needs of that system. So that really got me into like thinking about the optimization problems and made me look into OR.
Okay. So as a student, that was something that already fascinated you and you just decided to get your degree?
Yeah, and then also I think a lot of, at the time that I was getting into the field, power system and energy networks, it wasn't as attractive as now.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, a lot of problems in the field assumed to be settled, but now with the climate change resilience issues, we are getting a lot of interest from students. And so we have these ups and downs in the field.
Yeah.
So I kind of joined in one of the downtimes, but now we're ramping up. So this really excites me that we are having new students and a lot of interest from incoming students to the field.
Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you. So your career path has seemed to be pretty straight from education to your profession. Have there been any surprises along the way, or you knew what you wanted to do, you got your degree, you got your job? Can you talk about your career path at all?
Yeah, if you look at like grand scheme of things, it looks like a straightforward path, but like any optimization problem, you start from a starting point and you do these iterations. You look around, try to see where would be the next step.
Yeah.
So I look at a lot of these problems within my career as an optimization problem that needs to be solved. I have a starting point and I'm taking these steps along the way. And my interest and passion have led me toward the power system.
Yeah.
But there has been some ups and downs along the way, but mostly it has been a straightforward path.
Yeah. So what's your end goal at the end of your optimization? Do you have something you're looking to achieve in your career?
At this point in my career, I'm all about impact. So I'm really interested in educating the next generation of engineers, and we need to invest time and invest energy in the next generation, making sure that we have enough people trained for addressing the energy system issues. And we are seeing a lot of that recently. So that's really my passion, getting involved into like future of the next generation, training them and like providing opportunities for them. So that's really excites me.
Thank you. So for this next generation, do you have advice for graduate students or young professionals in this field when they're beginning their careers?
I go back to my earlier times. My advice would be don't be afraid to take steps. The cost of indecision is too much. You get stuck in, like again, going back to the optimization discussions, you get stuck at a point, you just kind of need to take the next step. Eventually you will get out of that local point, that local minimum point that you're stuck at. But look around, take iterations. A starting point is important, but if you adjust the course of your career along the way, you would eventually get to where you want to get. So don't be afraid of taking shots and doing the next thing.
I love the way you phrase that, because I feel like these students will completely understand what you're saying and how to follow that advice. So that's great. Thank you. So you mentioned these smart cities, grids, energy. You've done a ton of research on this and transportation systems, and especially, like you said, right now, the power grids and everything happening. So this has also landed you in the media quite often. Can you talk about this experience and how Informs helped propel you in any way?
Yeah, this was a really interesting new experience for me. So I think as academics, we are used to writing scientific journals and sharing our results for a specific set of audience, and the people that we know there is this basic common ground.
Right.
But this really helped me to rethink some of my results, think about how I can how I can put it in the context that a public can follow. And that was really helpful for me to go back and rethink the entire thing. That was unusual at first, but then I got used to it, and I'm kind of enjoying it. And every time that I think about like the next work that I want to do, I would think about like how, if I were to share the results with a broader audience, how would I do that? What would be the right context? What is something that everybody can relate to? So that has been really helping me also in communicating my results with like people from different fields, even inside academia. And Informs has been really critical advocate for and helping me in this journey.
Great. So you've had experience, then you've worked with Ashley Smith, our PR manager, right? She's the one that's helping you get some of your stuff out into mainstream media. What would you say to other Informs members who might like to do the same and get some of their work into the media, but might not be well versed in writing it for the public, like you said? Would you have advice for them?
A lot of academic institutions, they already have advisors and PR relation. That could be the first step for them to get into that. And of course, Informs has been really valuable and helpful. So, and everybody is really friendly and helpful. So don't be afraid of like sending a cold email and introducing yourself.
Great, thank you. So the work you do, would you say it saves lives, saves money, or solves problems?
I think all of the above.
Yeah.
As we saw in the winter storm Uri, when electric power system went down, it impacted everything else. So we are at the time that we have built a lot of complex networks, and all of them are really interconnected. So if something happens in one of them, eventually it will propagate to the other network. So, and a lot of my efforts lately have been focused on the power system. So I think what we saw in the winter storm Uri, without power, we will lose life, and also we will lose access to other critical infrastructure. So it is really the key for us to invest more and more in rebuilding our infrastructure.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like not everyone can say that it does all three, right? They usually pick one or two of the buckets, and that's great. Thank you. Do you have any recent projects that you're working on that you can talk about, or any recent research?
Yeah, sure. So we have been working with Department of Energy's ARPA-E, looking at solving large-scale grid optimization problems. This is a joint collaboration with colleagues from CU Boulder, and we have been looking at how we can solve these large-scale problems more efficient and in a faster time scale.
Okay.
And I think that has a really good potential to be applied and help electric utilities manage the electric system better. So at the end of the day, we need to invest both in the hardware and the software side of our electric networks. And obviously, we have a lot of policies recently around investing in the hard infrastructure, but at the same time, we need to be mindful of the software that is running the system. And this project is specifically looking through the software. What do we need to upgrade in our decision making to make this system run better?
Okay, great. That's very impressive. So, random question: what do you think is the next buzzword in this analytics space? I feel like we hear data science and then artificial intelligence. Do you think there's something else up and coming other than semiconductors? And what do you think?
I think so. As you all mentioned, AI and machine learning is changing a lot of stuff in different fields, and we are moving more and more toward valuing the knowledge of the domain. So a lot of engineers, a lot of people that have a really good intuition about the physics of the system, how it works. Now there are ways that they can integrate their intuition knowledge into the AI and machine learning models.
Yeah.
So that is becoming more and more critical for a lot of tools that we are making, and that would also help decision makers to trust the systems more, because they know their knowledge and their intuition is also integrated with the decision making and with the tools inside the box.
Great. Thank you. So what interests do you have outside of work? Any fun hobbies? Anything that a colleague might not know you do?
So I think I'm really interested in getting the technology out of the lab. So that has been investing a lot of my personal time looking at helping startups, also advising venture capitalists, technical councils on like what would the technologies of future look like.
Wow.
And how we can get things out of the lab. So that's really my passion. And I think that's really the ultimate outreach for a lot of academics, like how can we help researchers to bring this scientific innovation out of the lab.
Yeah.
So That's not a usual hobby per se, but I've been investing a lot of my personal time in that.
If you have fun doing it.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm talking to a lot of early startups and like meeting them and getting a sense of what they're doing. So that's been really fun.
So what does the technology of the future look like?
So that's the thing. So you don't really know. So you kind of have to. It would be a combination of multiple things. So you have to try all these different things. Again, this goes back to all of these OR principles that you are making it. You are making a decision for the future, and there are a lot of uncertainties.
Yeah.
So how would you consider all of those possibilities? How would you try to optimize all of these optimization variables, given all of these unknown things?
Yeah.
So, but you have to try again. You have to try, and you have to take steps. So you have to consider all of those possibilities to see which one will work better.
Yeah. Then maybe you had like a secret for us you could share of some new technology that we're going to see soon. So, do you like to travel?
I do.
Do you have any vacations planned?
It's it could be a vacation and work trip. So I've been working with colleagues in different countries. For example, I've been working with colleagues in Portugal, and have been really interested in how their energy network is transitioning.
Nice.
So we share knowledge often, and I'm considering like visiting there for fun, and also like looking at like a lot of progress that they're making. There's a lot of stuff that we can share and we can learn from each other.
Nice. Have you been to Portugal before?
1 or 2 times, yeah.
You have? Nice.
Yeah.
My roommate in college was from there, but I never made it over.
No, you should definitely try it. It's
I know.
really
She
good.
still has family there, so maybe one day. So, speaking of traveling, you're on a desert island. What 3 things do you bring with you if you know you're going to be deserted, I guess?
Probably a Starlink.
What's a Starlink? Oh, a Starlink.
Yeah.
Like for internet?
Yeah, for internet, I think. Once you have internet, you can search a lot of stuff.
That's true.
So I think maybe like a laptop or cell
phone,
phone,
you
just to be able
Starlink
to
with, right?
And then maybe a set of REI gears. I think like with knowing, like with being able to search and look for ways to stay alive and having set of gears like basic gears, I think you would be good to go.
All right. Well, I think you'll survive the desert island. Well, thank you so much. That's all I had for you today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.